All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get airborne. Happy Monday, man. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. We had an absolutely incredible weekend, one for the ages. So Saturday night, Bobby Orr and Jack O'Callahan. If you all know anything about American history, you definitely should know who Bobby Orr is. Obviously the greatest defenseman in the NHL. And then Jack O'Callahan from the 1980 Miracle on Ice, beat the Soviets, and two of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. I've never met nicer people. They could not have been more humble, down to earth. Bobby brought his son and his grandkids, and we just had an absolute blast. So it was funny because so this guy right here, Jack Doyle. I mean, these guys are all Southeast from Boston, right? Type of thing. So Jack Doyle is the guy who you all should have. Hopefully, everybody listened to the podcast with Justin Lepre. Justin Lepre runs the Heroic Path to Light. If you guys listen to that, awesome. If you didn't, you owe me 50 push-ups. But Justin Lepre, Marine, Fallujah, Battle of Fallujah, 2004, blown up, traumatic brain injury, homeless on the streets of New York City, and just not doing good. Jack, here's the podcast in case you missed it. Jack O'Callahan or Jack Doyle literally picked Justin up off the street and gave him a job at a Wall Street firm. I mean, I jokingly say that I'm Valentine and Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Actually, Justin is, because he literally went from homeless to Wall Street. And Jack Doyle gave him saved his life type of thing. So short story long, they've been lifelong friends. That's his mentor. So, and he's best friends with Callahan and Bobby Orr. The funny part is this was 2 or 3 days before Christmas when Jack and Megan and Justin came to the Panthers game. And Jack Doyle's like, you guys are my type of people. What's your address? And I gave my address, and I didn't think anything of it. He said, oh, I'll get something for you. And literally the day before Christmas, assigned, the dive, the famous Bobby Orr dive right there. So Matthew gets a signed picture from Bobby Orr. And it's funny because Susie and I, of course, at Christmas dinner, we're going around the table doing the whole, hey, what's the best Christmas gift you've gotten in your entire life? And Matthew's like, the Bobby Orr picture. I'm like, I spent 22 years, 22 Christmases buying you shit, and a signed picture of Bobby Orr is your greatest gift ever. He's like, yeah. So Bobby kind of heard about that. So he brings a signed picture of his signed picture of Matthew. He's got the picture of Matthew Christmas morning, and he signed that. Just absolutely incredible. And then Jack O'Callahan gave me a signed picture of all the guys from the Miracle on Ice team. I mean, that's like, I think the kids, when we were in Key West one time, we were in one of those sports stores or whatever, like the whatevers, and it was like $25,000 for one of those. So the kids were freaking out. It was a God moment. And here's the best part about it. Both those guys could not be more pro-America, pro-God, pro-family, pro-veteran. And they're both going to pitch in to the foundation. I think they both want to be on the advisory board. I'm blown away by this weekend, and just the nicest guys on the face of the planet. I said I was going to take them both flying in the jet. And he laughed and said, fuck no. And O'Callahan's like, I'm in. So I got at least one of them. Bobby Orr's like, yeah, that ain't going to happen. He actually said his wife might do it. I said, all right, yeah. So awesome. So good stuff. They were Carcillo couldn't make it. It was Daniel Carcillo's birthday. But the general manager of the Panthers, of course, stopped by. Zito, the general manager of the Devils, was there. Sean Thornton came in. Obviously, he was their Secret Service all night, but you know, I briefed them on what we're doing for veterans because they know about Carcillo, right? And what he's doing with Wisana Health and MDMA and all that stuff. So just a true God moment. And it was awesome to meet just such great Americans who want to help save lives with veterans. I mean, they were blown away. I'm like, Susie and I are heading down to Costa Rica in a couple weeks with a couple female fighter pilot veterans. And, they were beside themselves. So it's really cool. So good stuff. Okay. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, oh, sorry about that, Rick. I usually do that right off the bat. Mute all. There we go. Everybody should be muted. Sorry about that. That's on my pre-show checklist, and I failed to do it. Okay. I got blown out of a sniper, I think, on Friday. I was due, but folks, so get out of the way. How many times have I used this wizism? When something's on a tear, either join it or get out of the way. This definitely for the past week and a half has been a get out of the way. I mean, you could join it. I'm out of the way. But, we talked about this last week, 4,000, or I'm sorry, 4,100, 4,100, 4,100, 4,100. Okay. I think the cooler picture is to roll inverted real quick. Let's roll inverted and take a look at that. So what does that look like upside down? That looks like what? A triple bottom, doesn't it? Okay. So that, and there's a little back there, but we're in a critical moment. This week is massive. Fed, earnings, nuclear war, you name it. This is a big week. Do you see we haven't talked about this in a while, and this is going to, this comes back to another wizism. Just because we're not talking about it, or I don't do my job as a briefer, that it's not happening. We jokingly talk, I mention Iran all the time. Like, so Abdullah operating, 2 miles underneath Iran, building a nuclear weapon, doesn't look at his buddies and go, all right, you know what? Everybody call it a day. CNN's not paying attention to us. America's not paying attention to us. Everybody go home. I'll call you back when the cameras care. It's not what's happening, folks. They don't even give a shit about us. They don't care about our Fed. They don't care about earnings. They don't care about United States inflation. They don't care about anything. What happened this weekend? Like war. And again, the VIX at 18 last week. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. This is what happened this weekend, folks. War. Israel strikes Iran amid international push to contain Tehran. It's Iran. It's Iran. Well, correct me. Israeli-American officials discuss new ways to combat Iranian operations. Did you see what happened? Israel drone strikes, and a little birdie told me. I didn't need my little birdie to tell me. I can assume this on my own. It wasn't just drones. It was F-35s. The F-35I, I wonder what the I stands for. Israel. The F-35I flies wherever it wants to, literally all over their country. Never seen. So, nuclear war coming, war with Iran. Did you see the Air Force general? He's probably going to get clipped for telling the truth. See the Air Force general over the weekend? He sent out a memo to his command. We're going to be at war with China within 2 years. Isn't it funny that a commander who tells his troop to prepare for combat might be in trouble? The fuck's his job? First of all, he's the mobility command guy. He's like the tanker dude or the cargo dude, not even like Super Joe Tactical. And he's like, hey man, in the next couple of years, we're going to be shooting it with China. And of course, Washington's all got their nose out of joint. That's his job. The dude rose to 4 stars. Is he an idiot? Was he telling the truth? I love how DC and the ruling elites are kind of not happy with this guy. What's your job as a general? I think we've kind of forgotten it. To prepare to turn our enemies into hair, teeth, and eyeballs. It ain't woke training. It ain't transgender this. It's not abortion in military hospitals, all your social experiments. It's to prepare for war. And if this 4-star general is like, hey, man, we're going to be at war in the next 2 years, guess what? So, yeah, Graham, I kind of heard that too. It was, but the attack was kind of where they're building nukes, right? And they also attacked. I had heard the Revolutionary Guard headquarters. They actually went after, I think, the dude that took over after General Soleimani. So I really, Israel's top general. So when their generals do it, it's okay. But when our generals do it, they're gonna. I don't think that guy's gonna get fired. I mean, you're gonna fire an Air Force general for saying be prepared for combat with China. Israel's top general told the Wall Street Journal last week that Israel and the U.S. were preparing for the worst. Duh. Not. Thank God that an Israeli general is doing his job. Are we preparing for the worst in Ukraine? No. Here's more Abrams. Here's some Challenger. Here's some Leopards. F-16s? You want F-16s? Here comes some F-16s. So this was really interesting, man. Again, I kind of wake up, look my phone. I'm like, holy shit, man. And of course, I look at the futures. Nobody cares, Wiz. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So, war in the Middle East. It should be on your bingo card, folks. I'm telling you, man, this just can't. This is going to get worse. Oh, sounds like the Ukraine brief. I forget. I read a lot, obviously, over the weekends. I love the stuff, getting up to speed. But there was some good articles about the whole looking at history about from the beginning of time to today. Nobody ever thinks that a war is going to get worse or last this long or cost this much money. And here we are. So last week, the German foreign minister said the quiet part out loud that we're at war with Russia. Plays right into Putin's hand. Again, reading a lot over the weekend. Secretary Austin, Secretary Austin, Secretary of Defense, to his credit, in Germany at the meeting last week or 2 weeks ago, said the window's closing to either to try and win this thing or it's over with. So it was kind of that's the feeling I'm getting, is like they're trying to get all this shit as quick as they can because there's a window. Russia ain't going anywhere, folks. I don't care if Putin eats a bullet, as some of you suggest it would end. I don't think it ends. I think it gets worse if Putin eats a bullet or dies of cancer. The Wagner Group guy, whatever his name is, ain't a pope. The people that could replace Putin could be worse. So this is, again, VIX at 18, 19. Israel doesn't give a shit. Iran doesn't give a shit about us. And the world's going to hell in a handbasket. So Russia, you can see it in satellite images. I mean, it's kind of hard to hide stuff today, right? In World War II, even Korea and Vietnam, we're trying, we're lights out on the carrier, and we're trying to be kind of hard to hide a carrier battle group, but we'd try. We used to do EMCON, EMCON, emissions control. Not even a walkie-talkie, not even a handheld walkie-talkie on the carrier was allowed to be on. Everything was off. Everything was off. And you ready for this? You had to go outside of 50 miles from the carrier, and then you could turn all your shit on in the jet. And the scariest part about this was coming back and having to turn all your shit off and trying to find the boat like World War II style, like with your freaking eyeballs, like, where's the carrier? They said it would be a lat long, and now I'm having to do like pulling out my sextant and my chart. There was some crazy shit I had to do. So you can't hide So there's a shitload of weapons and troops and forces going into Belarus. It's going into Southwest and Southwest Russia. This is going to be, again, nobody gives a shit. We got the Fed this week. We got earnings. But folks, I can't. I'm telling you, Mike. The scientists that run the doomsday clock, it's at 90 seconds to midnight, which is the closest it's ever been in our entire life. You know what movie I want to come out sooner rather than later? Oppenheimer. Can they not? Isn't this creepy? I saw, I saw the premiere or whatever it is, the trailer for Oppenheimer, and I'm like, can you release that now? Why are you releasing it in the summer? So, other than that, Mrs. Kennedy, how was the parade? Busy week for earnings. Apple, Amazon. Just this is going to be this is big. So massive. I love this headline. Key events this extremely busy week. One for the record books. Wow. We have the Fed, the Bank of England, and the ECB all coming out with rate decisions. Wow. Okay. ISM, what do we get later in the week? Payroll, employment cost index. We got GDP last week. Did you see the GDP print? We had good news last week and the market went up. I'm like, I thought you didn't like this because the Fed, we're done with that. Last week was a confusing week. I needed to sit on my hand on Friday. I needed to get out of the way. I got to tell you, when I failed on Friday. I'm like, this makes no sense. When I say that to myself, this makes no sense to me. That's when I need to put these hands under said buttocks and do nothing, which is what I plan on doing this week. I mean, the 25 points it's baked in. I mean, that's a no-brainer. The meeting will all be about what? The tone. We laughed about this last time. Let's laugh about it again. I can't wait for Wednesday and the press conference. Mr. Chairman, did you kind of start thinking about maybe pausing, considering? Ha ha ha. No, we didn't. Or, So if he, get ready for a rip your face off rally, folks. If he even breathes, hints, winks that, we're kind of rip your face off rally. S&P 4,500. That's not. I got to listen to the minutes of my call because they were talking about this, but I had to get my Monday morning yoga on. I don't think it's this one, but they're going to do their best, folks. The reporters are going to do their best to do that. Like, no, did you kind of sort of talk about it? Or I think they're going to do we still got work to do. I think the next one might be we'll still got work to do, but we're taking a look. Boom. So I don't. There's a lot of people, this is what makes a market, folks. Duh. Welcome to trading in the market. Remember, Friday's jobs number comes after the FOMC. Jerome Powell is not going to sit around Friday morning going, I wonder what the jobs numbers are. So, right? He already knows it. So that's why the press conference is going to be interesting. He knows what the job numbers coming on Friday. And if it's hot, he's hot on Wednesday. We still got work to do and blah, blah, blah. Because again, they can't say this out loud, folks. Not like the German foreign minister saying we're at war with Russia. He can't sit here and go, people need to start losing their jobs. People, we need a little bit of a recession here. He can't say that. So average hourly earnings are forecasted to be flat. Non-farm payroll is supposed to come in a little bit. And the unemployment rate is supposed to tick up. We also get services, PMI, the final in the ISM. So, what else was big? ECB, is Thursday. Challenger jobs. Mike, the rhetoric that will drive the market down is hawkish, right? Dovish will be a rip your face off rally. Meaning dovish is this. We raised 25 and we're going to take a look and hang out for a little bit. That'll be a rip your face off rally. Let's do this. 25 is baked in. What if they come out with 50? Right? 50 might be if it's 25 and the rhetoric is hawkish, meaning it's 25 and man, this inflation just sucks. We got a lot of work yet to do. I think this might be a couple 25s. Again, guys, if you've been here for 2 years, I can't even believe we're going on 3 years. Who said stop? I said stop pumping money and start raising rates right now. We would have landed this plane a year and a half ago and we'd be in the Centurion Club getting drunk. You would, I wouldn't. We could have landed this plane and everything would be great right now. So the death by 25, these little 25s is stupid. I told you a year and a half ago, I'm like, or no, when was it was about a year ago. Remember that CPI print that was a 40-year high. I looked into that camera and I said, when's the emergency press conference? Jerome Powell's going to have an emergency press conference. He's going to announce an emergency full point, and the market's going to go, all right, man, you guys are on it. Nope. Didn't happen. I would have done it. Okay, so we got earnings, Apple, Amazon, we got the Fed. We got housing, we got Case-Shiller. This is massive. As Karen said a little while ago, go cash and VIX, baby. This ain't, I'd say, let's roll verted here. I'd say 99.9% of this rally right here, folks, is what? Right there. This has been a massive short squeeze. Highly shorted shares are beating the S&P 500 this year, and short sellers are down by 81 billion. What happens, folks? Short squeezes end. Okay? So this is, there are a lot of shorts getting squeezed right now, and we're starting to run out of airspeed in the short squeeze. That 4,100 periscope up on Friday or whenever that was it looks exactly like this stuff, folks. So again, we're in solo Amazon. We'll talk Amazon in a second here, but folks, if you got your SPX burner trades or treads on or your VIX, good. If you looked at those last week and said, those are dumb trades, I need to get out of them, then you got into them for the wrong, or you got into them for whatever your reason is. I got into them for not that reason. I'm holding these, right? The ones out covering February. So definitely holding on to all of that stuff, folks. So yeah, this is mirror equity, Fed. I already briefed all this stuff. Soft landing. I love all the aviation analogies. So, and it's so funny, folks. Again, after my birthday, so December 31st, 2022 behind us, January 1st, it's a new year, calendar year. It means nothing, but it means everything, apparently. Amazon's up 6% year to date. I'm like, it's been a month. What's the year over year return? Yeah, it's down about 30, but it's up 6%. I'm like, okay. Tesla's up 25% this month or year to date. I'm like, I love the year to date people. I get it. I got my portfolios reset and all that type of stuff, but nah. So last week, US GDP rose in the fourth quarter. Again, what did the market expect? What did I expect? Holy shit, the GDP's still cooking? The Fed's not going to like this. Mark it up. Okay. That was dumb. I saw the shit and I'm like, Q4 GDP stronger than expected due to not really good reasons. So we might actually get a negative Q1 print. So again, folks, it's like the airlines. They hire pilots until they furlough them, and then they furlough pilots until they absolutely have to hire them. This is the way these economic things are going here, right? So this is going to be very, very interesting to listen to the Fed this week. It's sad that we're in this, right? For, two decades of my trading career, 25, a quarter of my life, I freaking care about the Fed. Remember the folder or the briefcase indicator? Who was it? Greenspan? That's how we used to do. That's how you trade. How did he get out of his town car? He had a folder. All right. He had his briefcase. Shit. He's cranking up interest rates. It was so funny. The Greenspan folder, or was it Volcker? I forget. I'm dating myself. But in 2008, all of that ended. The Federal Reserve destroyed capitalism. Occupy Wall Street. We bailed out people. Oh, we didn't bail out people. I'm sorry. We bailed out firms. We bailed out Wall Street firms. So anyway, this is having to sit in a live trade brief and say, I'm not doing anything until Jerome Powell speaks is what you have to do. But that's not what we should be doing in this country. So all the wow, look at the S&P 500, man. That was a nice run and then slam. Woo. It's got some serious airspeed on it too. Okay, what else did I have to cover real quick? GDP. We talked about greedflation last week. Yeah, I mean, we're in such a weird place, man. These macroeconomic indicators are, everything's kind of flashing bad, from nuclear war in the Middle East, an Air Force 4-star general going, we'll be fighting in 2 years in Taiwan. Did you read did I brief you guys on it? Was it Rand or whoever? Somebody did a big, was it the Pentagon? No, I thought it was like Rand. Whoever did it. I read it. Too much bong resin blocking this right now, but let me give you the cliff notes. It was a war over Taiwan would be staggering losses for the United States. Couple carriers sunk. Fighter wing. I mean, I think that, the estimates I saw were like 100,000 U.S. casualties. Navy, Marine, Air Force. I mean, there's not even, you can't even fathom this. And they kind of said that. They're like, the United States hasn't, not since the Civil War would we see this much losses. It was brutal. I mean, like, they're talking, because folks, this ain't Russia, right? Russia's got nukes. They got some hypersonic Zircon missiles or whatever. China is China, guys. This ain't, first of all, they have a kabillion people. Second of all, they have no shit they're called carrier killers. Hypersonic, like, nukes whose sole purpose is to find a United States carrier and destroy it. You think we have the ability to shoot those things down? Remember when some young guy, was launching ballistic missiles over Japan, and Trump's like, why the hell aren't the Japs using the Aegis, cruisers and destroyers we gave them to use the SM-2s or SM-1s or 2s to shoot those down? Mr. President, we don't know if that's going to work, and we don't want to look bad if it fails. What? How many trillions and trillions of dollars do we pay these Ingalls or Raytheon or whatever building these Aegis cruisers to shoot down ballistic missiles? And you're telling me we're not going to try and shoot one of those down because it's probably not going to work? That's fucking fantastic. I would have loved to have been in that meeting with that. Mike, so folks, talking again to little birdies, they're like, dude, do you not think that the Chinese are watching our weapons inventories getting depleted to nothing? 7 years of Javelins production gone. We're out of ammo. Did you not see the 4-star admiral? Isn't it great to see random 4-star generals and admirals kind of do the, yeah, in about 6 months, we're going to have to choose between arming Ukraine and arming us. Harumph. Slava Ukraine. So we're risking global thermonuclear war for who's in charge of Crimea? That's great. Do I get a vote? Yep, Rick, it was 6 months. We are running out of weapons. You can't make this up, folks. Our strategic petroleum reserve still hasn't been refilled yet. We're running out of weapons, and China's just, you can't make this. I swear, folks, if you're the Chinese CIA dude, you're sitting there going, I can't take credit for this. Vladimir Putin spent, what, $200,000 on Facebook ads allegedly in 2016, and here we are years later. Raids on a former president's house with 30 FBI agents. Breaking news, Joe Biden has classified shit in like 3 different houses that aren't protected by the Secret Service. Is there an FBI raid? No, of course not. So, anyway, I can't even. We're in trouble, man. But let's get to the summary slide here, Wiz. I haven't even gotten to this stuff. We're still laughing about this. Speaker McCarthy is supposed to be meeting with Biden to start talking through some shit. Here comes. You look at Matt Gaetz and these other guys. They're like, this ain't happening, folks. We are not doing this. We're gonna default, and you can kiss our ass unless you start cutting some spending. We're not increasing the debt limit. So let's red team this right now before we go any further. What's the exact opposite of all of that? Let's do it real quick. Peace in Ukraine. Ain't nobody talking about that because you're a Russian agent. You are a Vladimir Putin sympathizer, Wiz. Okay. So peace in Ukraine, peace in Israel and Iran. You know what? Sorry. Let's just please. Is that possible? No. I was going to say, is it probable or possible? And the answer was no to both of them. They're going to kill each other. I always thought Nostradamus said, World War III starts in, the end of the world starts in the Middle East. It might be Ukraine. The only thing, I'm not going to waste any more time because I want to talk Amazon. The only thing that's green in any of that is the Fed. So again, the market is not the world. The market is clearly not the world. And it's definitely not the economy. We are going to hell in a handbasket, and the market's going to keep going up if the Fed wants it to. That's all that matters. I can't believe I say this. I hate it. I dislike it. But hate the player, not the game, right? Or hate the game, not the player, whatever it is. So I can't, So Karen, I think it might be a Raytheon. I mean, Raytheon is United Technologies and Raytheon combined. I forget who makes the or trying to. We are so far behind, folks. Google. I think it was General Milley like 6 months ago or a year ago. Excuse me. When he said, we're not even close. We're getting our ass kicked on the hypersonic missile front. Yikes. Aren't you the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff? Hey, General Austin, weren't you on the board of Raytheon or something like that, or one of the defense contractors? Where's your boys? Look at this, man. Next stop back to 4,000. So this, I think the short squeeze might kind of be ending. No, Rick, the next election is we're screwed. I mean, if this general's right, if you're Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin, who do you want in the White House? You want an incontinent old man, or do you want a Donald Trump? Yeah, I can't stand the man, but he gave a speech the other night in South Carolina in Nikki Haley's backyard, and say what you will. And it's funny looking at the responses to that tweet. Like, oh, that's because he's a Putin plant. Hey, guess what, folks? The world wasn't at war under Donald Trump. He was ending wars. He said, I would be, well, you don't have to listen to it. He's like, we're at the brink of World War III. He's like, I would get this done. I would get peace, enough. And then, oh, yeah, you remember when Biden said this? In March of 2022, the idea that we're going to send in tanks to Ukraine, and he leaned in and he whispered into the microphone. Remember one of his creepy whispers? He goes, that's called World War III. Today, I'm announcing that I'm sending tanks to Ukraine. Do you remember this, folks? Could you imagine if this was Donald Trump said that? We're never sending tanks into Ukraine. That would start World War III. Today, I'm sending tanks to Ukraine. They'd be playing that 24/7. So speaking of 2024, who does Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping want in the White House? And it's clearly not somebody. They want Joe Biden, folks. So if you're looking for a weekly trade, we have a 4,100, 4,150 bear call spread. You could fire another one of those right now. We're heading back down. So again, my treads were looking ugly. Or my burner trades were looking ugly. Now they're looking great. And the VIX is coming alive too. So, well, it's funny, Elaine, because, driving a tank, I'm a Navy guy, but I think Matthew's got a couple buddies that got commissioned from Norwich that are in armor school. That's not a weekend, folks. To go to M1 Abrams armor school, it takes a little bit of time. So, so to your point, Elaine, who do you think is going to be flying those F-16s? You're not taking Ukrainian pilots who are MiG drivers, and do you know how many Soviet pilots we shot down over North Vietnam? Those were North Viet Cong pilots. Some of them were. Who do you think the other ones were? You can hear it on the radio transmissions, folks. Same thing in the Korean War. We were fighting the Chinese, man. I mean, Chinese MiG pilots. So who's going to be you don't take MiG-29 pilots and drop them into an F-16. MiG-29, 2-engine, all sorts of shit. The Viper's single engine. First of all, you got to take a month to learn how to land the Viper, as Goose will tell you. That ain't an easy airplane to land. We got a couple other Viper drivers in this room, and going from a MiG to an F-16, that's not, it's not like Maverick in the movie getting ejected out of his Hornet and then jumping into the Tomcat. What a dumb movie. The more I reflect on Top Gun Maverick, it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The flying scenes were great because they were real. The storyline was the dumbest thing I've ever. I don't want to give any of my, Lou Dog. Yeah, it loves to fly, not land. I don't want to give any of my Air Force guys and gals ammo, but that was our Iron Eagle. Anyway, so we got Amazon, baby. Did everybody manage your short calls last week? So the 100, I posted in the Hunters and then the max afterburner. That's why you want to be in the hunters or max afterburner. I said, hey, man, keep an eye on your short calls. They're in trouble. And remember, when, quote, short calls are in trouble, celebrate. Oh, I'm losing money on those short calls. Did you not see the 1 Delta synthetic stock printing money? So don't be that guy or that gal like, oh, my short calls lost money. You actually kind of want that because that means you're right. Amazon's going up. Now went up more than the 100 that I thought, but close them. Treat short calls as a what? As a bear call spread. If you're looking at a 70, 80, 90% profit on the short calls, close it. Double the credit you take in and eject. So as Amazon started to rally through 100 on Friday, I'm like, you know what? Close them. I mean, we topped out at what? Holy shit, 103.5. And we're falling off. So we have earnings on Thursday. I think they're after, what are they, before? AMC. So, oh man, Friday is going to be a massive day, folks. So, let's start with this. Nothing. I'm doing nothing. Sometimes, well, I'm not. Let's look at this first before I say that. I didn't. Obviously, pre-market, the straddle isn't worth anything, and Amazon's imploding right now. Look at the S&P 500, guys. Well, almost every day is going to be massive, right? We got the Fed, then we got all sorts of shit. The ECB. All right. So, what was I looking at? Oh, duh. I wanted to look at the at the money straddle. Let's see what Amazon's looking like for Friday. What are we at? 99's close enough. That's about $8. Holy shit. That's $8. Look at this straddle. Sell. I was wrong. Or no, I need to go to Friday and I'll be right. $8. I was off by 50 cents. Wow. Holy shit, folks. Look at this straddle. All the way up to 107.50, all the way down. So that it's $8 straddle means what, folks? It's 16 wide. Double it. 16. The options market saying, hey man, we could go all the way up to 107.5 and all the way down to 90.50. Wow. This is big. Let's see. Let's talk. We're in a training environment. Let's see what a 107, a 106, 107, like a really wide iron condor would do. A football field. Wow. I don't believe these. Let me go over here. I didn't believe that those probabilities. Let's just double check. Straddle, sell, Friday, 850. Okay, I mean the regular accounts. Is it just so wide that it's saying with a 91% probability we're going to stay in here? So like a 106, 107. We've done this. I've done this a couple times, folks. Like a really wide iron condor on Amazon around earnings, and it's worked out. I don't think we've ever, knock on wood, gotten blown out of. These are legit numbers, folks. 91% probability. I think the straddle is so wide. These are good. Let's go look at the bull put spread. What did I say? 90-50. So let's look at a 91. 91.90 bull put spread. Might even. Wow. You know what, man? I mean, 57 to make 18, 93% probability. I don't dislike any of that. Um, I like this. And Amazon's imploding with the market right now. So, if this kind of appeals to you, I get the bear call spread on right now, man, because Amazon's imploding. I like this. Well, so let's step through a couple things. First of all, don't do anything. Amazon has earnings after market close Thursday. Don't do anything. There's a Fed meeting. I mean, hell, I think Amazon should kind of stable-ish, but it's down 3% right now. But I'm telling you, man, that the short squeeze is unwinding right now. This was to be expected. This was bullshit on Friday. I'm like, all right, get out of the way. This was the top out at 4,100. Look at these. Look at the periscopes. Periscope up, periscope up, periscope up, fail, fail, fail. We might even, if the Fed brings a little heat on Wednesday, we might even be back down to this 200-day moving average. I mean, and we're getting ready to have that the 50 crossing the 200. Isn't that like some Hindenburg something? What's the MACD's doing down here? There's a cross down there, and we had this kind of big run. I don't dislike this, but there is a shitload of risk in any trades around earnings. But let's just talk through it. Risk in 56 to make 19. If you did the iron condor, you offset your risk. We might be only risking $3,000 in this trade. Let's do this. I'm going to do this. This is a training trade. If I'm going to do this in my personal account, it would be in mine. I'm not doing that to Susie. She's the hero. I'm the zero. 130. Sell 75 of the 106. Buy the 107. 25 cents. There's your eject. Double it. 50 cents would be the eject. Okay, plus or minus 2 cents. That's it. The lowest I'd go is 23. The highest is 27. Risking 56 to make 19. Now we're going to do an iron condor, and it's actually good to do that right now because with Amazon going down, the bull put spread has a little bit more premium. So I've done a good job. Just ask me. Briefing you on everything this week, man. So buyer, or actually in this case, seller, beware. Be very, very careful. Ah, shit. What the hell's going on? I've opened. Damn it. Oh, you know what? This is the primary portfolio too. I should be over in solo Amazon. I'm going to do this over in the solo Amazon. Sorry. I was in primary because I wanted to look at those SPX trades real quick. So hang on. Log off. 2,300 is solo Amazon. I like this. I like it. What's going on here? Complete view. Counts home. All right. Getting there. All right, that was the Amazon, and then go take if you don't have to listen to me. Go look at the bull put spread. If you already know what you're doing, sell by. What is going on with these accounts? Let me get this at least so we can do this. Hey, I'm glad, Graham, you cracked the whip in here. Trades only thread is for trades only, guys. No quick in and out questions or anything like that, but move all the commentary over to the commentary thread. Everybody should just be doing opening and closing trades over here. No commentary, guys. That's all right. Every once in a while, we need to tighten it up. Amazon, Control V. All right, let's look at the bull put spread. Let's do maybe the 92.91. Let's start there. Yeah. Try and get 24 cents. That would be risking about 57 to make 18. Now, again, as an iron condor, you're not risking 57 and 5 over there. That's 10 grand, 11 grand. You actually are going to be risking about 3 total if you do this. So, again, don't do anything or, popcorn it. But this is a nice wide iron condor to run. And remember, every day that goes bear put spread or bull put spread 130. Got a little bit of a bounce off the bottom, so it's running away from me, but S&P's bouncing a little. I would not snipe here. That is not a good looking chart for the S&P. Amazon bear put spread 130 metric. Okay. Preview. I gotta maneuver some funds around. Yeah, if it ran away from you with this little SPX pop, you can move it up a buck. How about those Eagles, man? I'm glad. Did you see the F-16 flying over the flyover? It was awesome. Oh, what a great game! Oh, and the Panthers won, man. They beat Boston. What, number 1 team in the NHL? The Friday night we went to the Panthers game. The LA Kings beat the shit out of us. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get destroyed tomorrow night. And then we won. And of course, I was not a good winner. It was fun. I mean, it was Bobby's grandkids were in there and everything like that. It was awesome. Yep. Look at what I said. I would not put a sniper here. I would not put a bull put spread sniper here. Watch this. There's the slam, baby. We're heading on. Yeah, the Waste Management Open, the Super Bowl. I saw you can't even, the Motel 6's rooms are like 20 grand a room. It's going to be absolutely insane. Jesse, new to solo Amazon. Welcome, Jesse. I bought back my short Amazon. Good call. Do we keep the June 20? Yeah. So Jesse, the June 20. This is an existing position that I have. That is a long term. That's a 2-year trade, man. So Jesse, I'm keeping that for at least 2 years. It's a 2.5-year trade. That sits in the background. That's our beachhead. So if anything, Jesse, what you could do this week is sell some more short calls against that long, right? To bring in money every week. So we could sell some kind of like the bear call spread we're doing up here. How many do I have? 5 contracts? 5. I did 5. So yeah, Jesse, the June or Jan 25 is keep that forever. Well, I mean, we'll manage it and get out of it, but no. That's make sure you watch, Jesse. The Chiefs suck, Lou Dog. Underneath Full Throttle. Make sure you watch, because I know I blew through it last week. The synthetic stock trading, wherever it is. Is it at the top? Aaron Condors. Where's synthetic stock? Air spreads. I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I can't wait to see the Eagles beat up on the Walrus. Exactly. The officiating in the second game was atrocious. It was when you see NFL rigged trending on Twitter, the NFL's got a problem. That was awful officiating. I've never seen anything like it. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be good. So yeah, Jesse, watch the training. That Jan 25, the June 25 position stays there for years. And hopefully, not hopefully, hope ain't a strategy. Amazon's going to be going up over the next couple of years unless we all get vaporized because of Joe Biden. So that's going to be sitting in the background making money, man. So, yeah, it's clear. I mean, they did not want they wanted a Kansas City. Even the officiating in the first game, that incredible catch. Everybody's like, it was incomplete. Well, you should have challenged it. It was complete, and they scored. So that's your fault. So, anyway, yeah, he is a class act. Jalen Hurts is a good dude. It was about the team, and he's a good kid. I think the Eagles are going to destroy the Chiefs, but that's just me. That's a little ego there. All right, guys, great brief. Good time. Don't do anything this week. It's very dangerous. Let me clear that up. That's the summary slide at the end of the brief here. Don't do anything this week, man. Hang out. This could be a great learning week. Fed, ECB, earnings, Apple. I didn't even talk about Apple. We're in solo Amazon, but Apple, everybody's watching it. Amazon, the payroll numbers on Friday. This is chock full of crap this week. So this is a great week to pay attention to stuff and watch as the market maneuvers. Okay, as Karen said earlier, cash is a position, man. Cash is a great position to be in with this market. Okay. No, he's not. Jalen Hurts is much better than Mahomes. Mahomes has a big forehead, man. He looks like the great Gazoo from the Flintstones. Now I'm like dating myself. So, all right, guys, I'll text this out and I'll email this out with our wide iron Condor on Amazon, and I'll get the replay posted shortly. I will see many of you tomorrow morning in the primary live trade brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Fights on. And namaste. I'll talk to y'all later.